States. It's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mark from the States. How we doing today? I'm doing fantastic. I hope you are as well. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Come sit on this big fake couch today. We have a treat. We are doing a walk through London's West End. I definitely want to visit. Hopefully my son will get a chance. He'll be there, I don't know, in a week, I guess. Maybe less. I'm not quite sure exactly when to get there, but he is finishing up in Dublin, and then they're gonna be heading over to the UK, or not the UK. Yeah, the UK, but Great Britain. Wales, Holyhead to be more specific. So I'm excited for him. He's going to be in London. Hopefully he'll get to see the West End. I want to take a watch of this video. This is from Living Walks, Mike over there. Awesome dude. Awesome channel. Go support his channel. I beg you, please get over there and support his channel. You can get lost. He doesn't just do walks of London or just England for that matter. He is all over the place. Other countries, the whole bit. So go over there and support his channel. Every little bit helps, and it's really important that you do so. Today, I forgot where we're at here, having my interview. I'm doing that interview with this young woman from Ukraine, kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. Going to learn something today. So that's a little bit later on this morning, a little bit later on in the afternoon, your time. So please, if you have a question, send it over soon. It's going to be interesting. It really is. So I'm excited to do that later on this morning for me. So sit with me. Let's get into it. London's West End. I only really kind of know that the West End is kind of like the theater, entertainment district, right? So this is going to be fun. So let's do it.
Hello walkers, it's Mike from Living Walks, and today we find ourselves in London's glorious West End. So this is the heart of the capital's entertainment and cultural centre, really. And I've lived here I lived over here for over 20 years, so I think I can say a few interesting things about the area, so stick with us. We're going to explore this mix of heady history and architecture and culture.
It's like a Chinatown.
And of course, it's a wonderful day in the sun here in London.
Ooh, listen to the birds.
And make sure you stay with us to the end. We'll find out how Covent Garden got its name. We'll see where the first performance of Punch and Judy ever happened. And we'll see that part of London that used to be underwater.
Ooh, okay. It's close to me.
And we make our little start here by Embankment Tube Station.
Blues and Royal.
Now, so here we are on the north side of the river. If you were to go through the station there, you'd come out on the other side and you'd come to the River Thames. It's a big watery thing that goes through London. On the other side is the South Bank, and that's where you'll find the Wheel, the London Eye. But we're staying on the north side today. And what a pleasant day it is too. I must say, it's nice to have you back. We have the best subscribers on YouTube, and it's always a pleasure just to see your smiling, cheeky little faces.
I've got some great subscribers to
so
our
the area
channel
we're in at
as
the minute,
well.
you can call this Victoria Embankment. Now, the word embankment is kind of interesting. What is an embankment?
I'm sorry. I try not to pause a terrible amount, especially in these types of videos, but I want to go back and look at this sign over here on the right.
Victoria Embankment.
Don't be distracted. Look up, look out. Keeping your... I don't know what it says there.
Now, what
Please help us by keeping your mobile and other valuables out of sight when not in use. Oh, wow. So that's funny. I told, because of what a lot of you have said in comments and emails, that you've been having or there has been kind of a problem with people stealing phones. And I said that to him a few times. In fact, on the way down to the airport was the last time I said it to him. And, they make fun of me and, oh, I won't, He said he would keep it, he won't just have it out all the time unless he's using it. And they think I'm crazy for pointing that out. But here, I'm going to show him this sign. Hopefully he'll see this sign or a sign like it. I'll be vindicated.
Embankment is kind of interesting. What does embankment mean? Well, it means to build up, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
And this whole area along here was built up. So back in 1870, where we're walking right now, well, you'd be a little bit wet because this was still the Thames.
Really?
Yeah, you see, the Thames used to be a lot wider and it was a lot shallower. But in 1870, work was finished along here, building up or embanking the area. Partly, it made more space for greenery such as this, reclaiming a bit of land. But two, what was really important is to install a modern sewage system.
Oh, and that was by what's his name? Basil Jett. Right? I think so. That's I didn't know that about the Thames. At least if I did, I don't remember. That's wild.
Think about it at the time, it was all pretty grim. All the sewage would just go out into the streets. Sewers would empty out into the Thames.
Yeah.
Pretty unpleasant place to be. Well, the modern sewage system changed all that. Now, also, what's interesting is this street here was the first street in Britain that was permanently lit by electricity. Now we're in Victoria Embankment Gardens.
Popular
and
place.
That arch in front of us there is York Watergate. It was part of York House. And again, believe it or not, those little steps that you see in front of us, they would have led down to the river. That's right, so George Villiers, the first Duke of Buckingham.
Really? Wow.
He would have come down here, got in his little boat, had a little splash around, probably holding his breath, because the river probably was a little bit unpleasant at the time. That just goes to show you how much land has been reclaimed from the Thames.
That's wild.
Now, come on, let's come up here. Let's have a look up here. So we're coming on to Watergate Walk.
Ooh, I like this place.
And all these fine people are out here drinking and dining. And this is Gordon's Wine Bar down here. Apparently it's the oldest one in London.
Had me at wine bar. Love it.
Oh, excuse me. Yep, that looks clean. Yep, you can use that one.
That's funny. That's what I love about Mike's walks, because it's just the natural reactions you see of people.
And we're back here. This is Villiers Street. So again, Villiers Street, named after the first Duke of Buckingham. So a little aside, by the way, so we have Guido today again. He's back on the camera. Again, he's our imaginary cameraman, part of our expanding imaginary YouTube team. And it's Guido's birthday today. So Guido, would you like to get on camera?
Prince of Wales.
No,
It's
why
like a
not?
Pub. Love it.
Okay. I know Guido is shy. That's fair enough. But anyway, it's Guido's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
I haven't asked how old he is.
Guido.
No? You don't want to say? Okay. He doesn't want to say. Anyway, okay. Well, enough of that. Here we are at Villiers Street. And we're heading up now, up towards the Strand.
Oh, bar one.
Samuel Johnson, he was the man who created the dictionary of the English language. Imagine that. Single man, sitting down writing the dictionary. Pretty big job. But it's him that said,
Sounds
you
boring.
know when a man is tired of London, he's tired of life. For there is in London all that life can afford. Well, growing up in London as I did, I can say, truly, there is a hell of a lot to do in London. And even though I don't live here now, I come back quite often. And it's just refreshing, really, to come back here. It's the buzz, it's the mix of cultures.
Guy had ice cream all over his face. Love it. So we have another underground here.
We can cross over there on the other side of the road. That is Coutts Bank. So it's a private bank.
Coutts
Now,
Bank.
what is a private bank? What does that mean? Well, it's first of all, it's high net worth customers only.
Wow.
So you might find if you knocked on the door, well, okay, they might not take you on. Customers include the royal family. So, you know,
Okay.
big names. So here we are, Charing Cross Station. You
Charing
can get
Cross.
trains here to Kent. Kent's often called the Garden of England. When it's very green, and it's very green because it gets quite a bit of rain. And Charing Cross here is quite important for a number of reasons. So interestingly, if you've ever wondered how people measure distances from London,
Postbox.
oh, you know, this town is 100 miles from London. Where do they measure it from? Well, they measure it from here, Charing Cross Station.
I've heard that.
Okay, we'll cut across here while the traffic's with us. Aha, right. That cycle that just went past. They used to be called Boris bikes, and I guess a lot of towns have them now. You can hire them. There's lots of stations where you can hire them, and it will cost you about £1.65 for 30 minutes, and you can just book them on an app. Very easy to use. They're called Boris bikes, but really it was the previous mayor of London, Ken Livingstone, who actually organised them. In 2007, I think it was. So they were modelled on the successful Velib network in Paris. So again, they were taken over. The name was taken over by Boris Johnson when he became mayor of London. But of course, due to, I guess, lots of controversy, etc., in recent months, I think we're now all referring to them as the Santander cycles. Santander is the bank that sponsors them. So this area here on the Strand, so used to be associated with the upper classes, probably up until the 17th century. And then the aristocrats moved out, and it became a bit more known for theatre, music hall and restaurants, which it still is now. You wander down here, you're going to find a couple of theatres, some good restaurants. So we're going to take a little cut up here, and we are heading towards Covent Garden.
What we got going here? Feeding the homeless, maybe?
Still with us?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
And you, hang on, come on, keep up. Keep up, you don't want to miss any of this.
Heck no.
Now, coming up on the left,
It's a phone box.
and look, a particularly interesting building. This is the Charing Cross Police Station. Once used to be called Charing Cross Hospital. So it used to serve some of the local slums. It's more famous recently for two things. First, there has been a little bit of controversy with the police, particularly operating from this station. But also, on a more interesting note.
What they do?
This station features in the Rivers of London book series. So if you've seen those at all, it's a 9-book series starring a character called Peter Grant, and it's a bit of a urban fantasy stroke police procedural kind of mashup. Extremely good. Extremely good. It's been made into a TV series, so you're going to watch out for that. Who knows, we might even film it here. So it's coming up onto Chandler's Place here. Although we're heading right here, actually just behind us, I won't spin the camera around. But there's an especially good place to drink. I used to drink there quite often. It's called the Chandos. And it does great beer. It's got lovely little cubby holes you can sit in.
Nice.
Very comfortable place. And further up too, we're not going that far, but if you keep up here, straight ahead, you'll find a place called the Porterhouse. That too is really interesting. Got a lot of imported draft beers, seemingly hundreds of imported cans and bottles. And the decor too is really interesting. Lots of copper pipework everywhere. It's spread over 2 floors. I'd recommend it. It's just that street ahead of us. You just keep going down there. But we're going to take a left here. Oh, also I think down there as well, you'll probably find the Gordon Ramsay, yes, the Gordon Ramsay, street burger place. I've not tried it myself, but it's down there.
What's this guy doing?
So we're on Bedford Street here.
Just chilling.
The sun is shining. See, it does shine in London.
Looks amazing.
And to be honest, I think that's I think that's a little inaccurate. People's idea of London, that it's always raining. Not so. Not so. The south of the country here, the southeast, is the driest part of the country. London used to be known, of course, for its fogs and pea soupers, they used to call it. So when we used to all burn coal and wood in our fireplaces, that used to mix with the fogs. And you get a pea soup, which is basically such a thick cloud that you probably couldn't see your hand in front of your face. But those days are long gone. Anyway, here we are. So we're on Henrietta Street, and we're just going to head down to the Piazza.
I'm just
Henrietta
loving
Street, it was named after the consort of Charles I.
Charles I.
Interesting, of course, because we now have Charles II on the throne.
I'm just loving all the people watching.
So this used to be home to, you used to find quite a lot of artists down here, but now you're going to find a lot of publishing houses. Victor Gallant's is down here. Greenwood is down here. And I think even Dorling Kingsley is down here. I know some of you are asking, what am I wearing today? It seems to be coming up quite often on the comments. Today I'm in a little onesie. That's right. So if you find that people are staring at the camera, it's just because, it's the floppy ears, probably, and the little tail on my onesie. But hey, but also this is London, and Londoners are just used to people looking a bit weird. So up ahead then, Covent Garden. So there used to be a very famous fruit and veg market here. But now it's more famous for the shops, for the cafes. There's the Royal Opera House here, which is actually known as Covent Garden itself. Now I did say we would find out where Covent Garden gets its name. Well, the name comes from around about the 13th century. It Comes from the Abbot of Westminster Abbey. He walled off an area of the land to use in farming and orchards. And so it is the Convent Garden. Yeah, Convent Garden. It's become Covent Garden. So from the 17th century, fruit and veg market that was here, and that's given way over the time to taverns, coffee shops, theatres.
And
by the 18th century,
people
it was famous
riding,
for its number of brothels.
looks to be,
Absolutely.
and people riding unicycles there, it looks like.
So here you've got street performers. So you'll find street
Very
performers
tall
here
ones.
every day, pretty much, except Christmas Day.
Okay.
And you can't just roll up and get
Street
a slot.
performer.
Oh no, performers have to audition.
Audition?
You audition and you get a strict 30-minute slot.
Well, you know they're going to be pretty good then. God, this just looks so cool, though. Birds are really loud, but
So this
other
is the
than that,
piazza.
looks amazing.
There's always some entertainment happening here. It's not
Punch and
outside.
Judy.
Down below, you'll often find there's a little trio playing. And there's loads of places to obviously eat, etc. here. Cutesy little shops. So over there, just on the left, behind that guy on the big unicycle thing,
What the
you've got
heck?
St Paul's Church, Covent Garden. It's often called the Actors' Church because it's, well, it's got an association with the theatre. In fact, in 1662, Samuel Pepys, he recorded the very first performance of Punch and Judy. So if you've ever been to the British seaside, Punch and Judy is an institution in itself. It's a little puppet show, in case you didn't know. And in fact, also in the churchyard back there, the first victim of the 1965 plague. That's right, the Black Death in England. Margaret Pontius. That's where she's buried.
This looks so cool. This makes me smile. Can't wait to get there.
Must admit, I'm getting a little bit warm here in the onesie. Hang on a second, I might just have to take the head bit off. Okay, that's a bit better. Whew, yes, okay. I'm getting a bit sweaty under here. I'm sure you'll be pleased to know. King Street here, and just along to the right. So this is where the Apple Store opened in 2010. And at the time, it was the largest in the world, 40,000 square feet. It's big, pretty much, anyway. Still there. I don't think it's the biggest in the world now. This is all part of the area that we call the West End. Again, really, West End's famous for its theatres and so on. In fact, the whole idea of having a West and an East End to London is quite interesting, and in fact, it does apply to a number of cities around the world. So on the actual west side of London, which is more than just the West End, which is just a small area, the whole west of London, certainly used to be that. It used to be the richest side of London. That's where you find all the wealthy house owners, the nicest bits of land. And the East End was always, used to be anyway, known for that's where, you know, everyone else lived. People who actually did all the work, who worked in the factories and the tanneries and the shipyards.
Before he continues, I've been noticing a lot of people with alcohol just walking around drinking. Is that legal throughout? Is that or am I not seeing what I'm thinking I'm seeing? It looked like several people were had alcoholic beverages and they were open and they're just walking around with it. Or is that just maybe in the West End area or something? You'll have to let me know.
And why was that? Why that strong divide? And why to the west and to the east? Well, the reason very simply was the direction of the winds. You see,
Oh,
all the
because of the
tanneries and the
pollution
shipyards and
stuff
everything else, all the
gets
factories,
blown.
they pumped out a lot of really horrible smelly stuff.
Huh.
And the
Interesting.
wind used to come from the west. So clearly, if you were unfortunate enough to have to be put over in the east side, well, you had to inhale that all the time. So if you had any money,
Live
you'd
in the
live on
West.
the west side.
Yeah. In America, we
Well, that's
say
changed now, of course.
you're
The whole
from
of
the other
London has
side
been
of the
gentrified.
tracks.
Although still, I think you'll find there's still a little bit of those old neighbourhoods in the west side still have a certain cachet about them. And you might find as you go around the world, you might look too and see if other cities follow this similar sort of pattern. It might even be north-south, for instance. But it's interesting to find out where the wind generally comes from. And the people with the money, they'll live upwind.
Upwind.
Okay, we're going to head up here, I think, to Garrick Street. It's getting a little bit windy.
Are those rickshaws? Is that what those are?
A little shout out to Patricia. So she's the latest addition to our imaginary team. So she's going to be doing the editing on this, do the color grading, etc. So I'm hoping that what you're seeing right now hits the spot. Do let us know if it does. We'll continue to keep using Patricia. Now up ahead, just over on the left there, just past the light building, I think it's the Waterstones. The next building along, you wouldn't know it, very famous. It's called the Garrick Club. It's a gentleman's club, and it was founded in 1831. Gentlemen's clubs, where all the wealthy gentlemen would, of course, get together, sit around and chat and smoke cigars and drink a brandy and read the paper.
So exciting.
Ladies, of course, weren't allowed.
Of course.
Things have changed a little now, although it's still men only, but women can come as visitors. There is, if you're inclined to join, there's a 7-year waiting list.
Jeez.
It's that popular. And of course, you must be proposed by a member. Members of which there have been some very famous ones. Laurence Olivier, the actor, did I say more?
Yep.
H.G. Wells, author of The Time Machine and War of the Worlds. Charles Dickens, somebody you may have heard of.
May.
A.A. Milne, who wrote Winnie the Pooh
Winnie
books.
the Pooh. Right.
And of course, modern day, we've got Stephen Fry.
Nice.
So if you do manage to join, you'll be in good company. In fact, I might see you in there one day.
Just hearing it. Just everything around. Getting bits and pieces.
Coming to London at any time, you're going to come to this area. You have to, really.
Yes.
It's really famous. Off here. So over to the left, we're going to have Leicester Square, we've got Trafalgar Square, not too far away. Nelson's Column. It's only a 10 or 15 minute walk from here. If you want to go to Downing Street, that's where our Prime Minister resides. It's only a little bit further down there,
That's
another
cool.
5 minutes or so, and you come to the Houses of Parliament. That's where our government operates from.
I know Cooper's going to be going there. So.
Or doesn't, depending on your viewpoints.
Now look at this building right here, straight in front. What an odd design here. Reminds me of San Francisco. You'd see something like that, or New York.
Ah, so this is just on the right-hand side. It's the Agatha Christie Memorial.
Oh, cool.
So Agatha Christie, famous author, famous writer. Agatha Christie, she wrote 66 novels and a number of short stories. She's sold over 2 billion books. That's right, 2 billion. Okay, that is more than J.K. Rowling, although she has been around a very long time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And it's actually just a few minutes away here. You'll find the theatre runs The Mousetrap. That's one of her books. The Mousetrap is the world's longest running show. Right? Can you believe
Really?
to this? 30,000 performances have run.
I would never have guessed.
30,000.
I would have said
Absolutely.
like Phantom of
Still
the
going.
Opera or something. Les Mis.
So interesting woman. There's a quote from her, and it goes, my chief dislikes are crowds, loud noises, grabophones, and cinema. I dislike the taste of alcohol and do not like smoking. But I do like sun, sea, flowers, traveling, strange foods, sports, concerts, theaters, pianos, and doing embroidery.
Okay. Hippodrome. Leicester Square Station. This just puts a smile
So we
on
had
my
Leicester
face.
Square,
This is so cool.
just over there, but then there's the Hippodrome. It's now a casino, but for the first 50 years of its life, it was a theatre. It hosted the first official jazz gig in the United Kingdom, in fact, 1919. The original Dixieland Jazz Band performed there. 1958, it converted to a nightclub, the Talk of the Town. Maybe you've heard of it. And people like Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, the
No.
Jacksons, Tom Jones, they all performed there. It got changed into a nightclub restaurant by famous restaurant tycoon Peter Stringfellow. Maybe you've heard of him. And that was until 2005. It basically lost its drinks license.
Ooh. That's a no-go.
From then on, well, it became a casino. So
Must
a little
be
Newport Street.
Chinatown.
And us heading now into Chinatown, which I think you can gather by all the little red lanterns. This wasn't, by the way, London's original Chinatown. Oh no, there was another one. That's right. This is Chinatown number 2, the sequel. The first one was in Limehouse, and that's in the East End. And this one didn't really grow up until probably about the 70s, really.
Award-winning gay. Price's Bar, I guess. Yeah. That's funny. Light Lounge. Hey, Gen Cafe. Nice. Yeah, definitely a different vibe when you get into Chinatown, for sure.
So Gerrard Street is up here. Really, that's really the centre of Chinatown. And again, as you might expect, as you see, it's just full of restaurants
Say that again? No. You left
Love the conversations of people that just randomly walk by. You could just sit and people watch for hours. It's just so cool.
So we're going to head up to Soho.
Nice.
And the road ahead here, so this is Shaftesbury Avenue.
Shaftesbury.
It got its name from the 7th Earl of Shaftesbury. It was originally built to just move traffic really through the crowded sort of Soho district. Also, I think the intention was really as an excuse to clear the slums that were here at the time. Apparently that didn't work so well. But it's sort of considered, I suppose, it's the heart really of the West End theatre district. Now, if you're a Sherlock Holmes fan, and I am, naturally, you might be interested to know that along here, so around 1900, was the location of the Bartitsu, okay, that's the Bartitsu School of Arms and Physical Culture. Now, that might not mean anything to you, but it was basically the first Asian martial arts school in the Western world. And of course, if you are a Sherlock Holmes fan, then you will know that Sherlock Holmes practices the art of Bartitsu. There you go.
Now I do. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, let's come up here. So this is Greek Street, and this is Soho. So much of the 20th century, Soho really has been known for a base for the sex industry, as well as its nightlife and location of, you've got a lot of film companies here.
Really?
But again, like most of London, it's undergone gentrification. It's now home to fashionable restaurants and media companies. So it really is a great place to hang out, actually.
The Coach and Horses Pub.
Maison Bartol, that's quite famous. Very famous for its afternoon teas, for its pastries, pâtisserie. We've got Old Compton Street ahead. So Old Compton Street really, depending who you talk to anyway, often considered the centre of London's gay community. Cafe Bohème here on the left. Particularly nice. We often play live music in the afternoons.
That place looks cool.
So if you find yourself here, hop in, see if you can get a spot. Really lovely place.
I would love to have one of these window spots here and be able to just people watch and just listen to everything going on out on the street. It's really cool.
Do you need any more food?
Good old London, eh?
I'm loving it.
Mustn't it, every time I come up, I just see something new, something's changed, and it's just so nice to come back into such a cosmopolitan city. Ah, no, and there is a shop there, very close to my heart. You know, we like Madeira, you know, like Portugal, and the Portuguese pastel de nata. There's a pastel de nata shop over there. Absolutely. They sell, surprisingly, all manner of pastel de nata. If you don't know what one of those are, it's a little bit like a custard tart. Not just the old sort of English custard tart. Oh no, this is on steroids. Absolutely fantastic. Lovely crispy pastry. You have to try one. I think we might do a little walk around here maybe later. We might just point out some of the places to eat. It's really a nice place in the evening, and the sun starts to go down, and the lights, the cafes and shops start to come on. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, it gives me like a West Hollywood, maybe Castro district vibe from San Francisco. Maybe probably more because of the buildings, more like San Francisco. With all the shops and bars.
So
and
ahead
stuff
again,
like
you
that.
can see there's Chinatown at the end of the road, but I think we might just have a little stop at the Golden Lion over here. So
Yes.
it's a traditional English pub, I'd say.
Yeah. Are you gonna take us inside
How's
with
Green
you?
King. Pint of Green King IPA won't go amiss. You've got to try it if you haven't tried it. So just want to say thanks for being with us. Stay tuned. We have other walks around this area.
Gosh, this was good.
But for now, you've been wonderful company. We'll see you again soon. Take care.
Thank you, Mike. That was awesome. I can't wait to do that. I mean, just the sights, the sounds, just everything you're seeing. It's like sensory overload. And it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. He mentioned the first victim of the plague, 1965. I don't know if that is accurate, unless there's something I'm not familiar with. But yeah, that video was great. Just enjoy his videos. Go support Mike and Living Walks. It's just a great channel. Great channel. Like, we've done a couple different videos of his, and one I believe was with no narration, which was wonderful in its own way, because then you're getting everything raw, and you're hearing and seeing everything, but there's no the only problem is I'm not familiar with what I'm looking at, so I'm not really seeing or knowing, I should say, what I'm looking at. So I love his narrated ones as well, but they're both really, really good, and yeah, it was really cool. Hopefully Cooper will get to experience this. I really do hope. It looks fun. Looks just like a fun day out, just cruising around there, for sure. Okay, everybody. Again, go support his channel. It's really important that you do so. Cooper, just an update. I think they're finishing up in Dublin, and then they're, like I said, heading over. So I'm excited to get some more updates from him. He's doing great, having fun, of course. And hopefully I'll get there to see what he sees in person sometime soon. Hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. One more chance. Got the interview that we're doing later on today, so please get your questions in. You only have a couple hours left before we do the interview, and we'll see you in the next one, I hope. Thanks for coming along and experience this with me. All right, take care. Bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark. And he's from